Quick disclaimer, if you already watched this video, don't watch it again. This is a anime-free version. YouTube blocked this video in a bunch of countries, but I didn't want to take it down and, fuck with it too much. This is a copyright-free version I'm uploading. If you've already seen it, don't watch it again. Enjoy the video if you haven't seen it. Bye! The early Xbox 360 days really were the Wild West when it comes to strange licensed video games. I've already spoken about The Darkness, the Top Cow published comic book series, but now I want to talk about something with a little bit more heft to it, a bit more than beta hatred anyway. The extremely popular anime and manga, Naruto. More specifically, the early Xbox 360 title, Naruto, Rise of a Ninja, a genre blend of open-world 3D platformer and fighting game. Now, 2007's Rise of a Ninja is unfortunately a victim of exclusivity, stuck on the Xbox 360. A lot like the nine-tailed fox actually, forever stuck inside a teenager. And yes, this joke won't work when the 360 hits 20 years old next year. Let's savour it while we can. The game retells the story of the anime up until the end of the Chunin exams, albeit in an abridged way.
Okay, it's cool everybody, I speak weeaboo! Chan desu, chan neko.
If you have no idea what any of that means, don't worry. We'll cover it in this video. We play as Naruto, the knucklehead ninja, and we follow him on his journey as he struggles to prove himself worthy of being called a ninja. Spoilers, he sucks. He also has a demon fox trapped inside him, causing everyone in the village to hate him. Oh, most importantly, he also has no parents. But of course he finds friends along the way, overcomes deadly challenges, eats lots of ramen, and lives happily ever after. But I am rushing ahead a little. So that is the basic premise of Naruto. But how do we begin this adventure to become the greatest ninja ever? Depression, of course. But first, let's watch some of this intro. Get comfortable, set the scene. Let the world build itself. Anime cutscenes. How very budget-friendly. Now back to depression. Naruto fails to graduate from ninja school. Feeling low and a bit shunned by all the other students, Naruto takes some advice from Mizuki here.
Naruto, Iruka-sensei's tough, but he's not against you.
Then why? Why only me?
He wants you to be strong, with all his heart. But that will never happen if he goes easy on you. He's like you, No parents, no family.
But this time I really wanted to graduate.
I understand. Tell you what, it's a secret, but I'm gonna let you in on it. There's a way you could get Iruka to let you pass Naruto. It's very simple, too.
Really?
Yep. There's a secret scroll in the Hokage's building that you could use to learn a new jutsu, but you'll have to borrow it without anyone noticing and take it to the forest. I'll meet you there to help you learn the jutsu, alright?
And we're off. We now have proper control of our character. Our mission is to steal the special scroll from the Hokage's office. And before we go any further, this is something that's irked me for years. How can this useless 12-year-old sneak into the office of the Hokage, past all the guards, past the Hokage I'm assuming, and steal something and get back out? Yeah, he failed school but snuck past every ninja in the most important building in the village. I'm sure none of these stinky kids could have done that. These teaching staff are missing out on real talent here. Taking a midnight stroll through the village with our contraband, we reach Mizuki, but instead of going through with his promise, he betrays us, only using Naruto to get the scroll for himself. But with some help from Iruka, we beat him up. Using the jutsu from the scroll we stole. We are now officially a ninja with our own cool headband. This marks the end of the anime's first episode, along with the game throwing us right into the action. A great little introduction to Naruto in this world, with a little taste of its platforming and combat. But now we have access to the whole village hidden in the leaves. This will be our map for the whole game, and as a fan of Naruto, this is the highlight of the experience. Being able to fully explore a fully realized and fairly well detailed hidden leaf is such a treat. I do believe this is the first Naruto game to let you do this. After a quick chat with the Hokage, he's cool that we stole from him. We are free to roam the village. This is a great place to go over our HUD actually, for us to better understand the game and its systems. At the bottom right of the screen you'll find the minimap, showing the immediate area around us, displaying character locations, shops and missions. All of these unlock as you play the game, and the map is pretty much empty at the beginning. Top left you'll find our little portrait, snuggled in with our health and our chakra meter. Think of chakra as magic points in a JRPG. You need chakra to pull off Naruto's jutsus. Below the chakra meter are these little blue circles. I'll go over what they mean in a sec. back. On the top left is this mess of thingies, buttons, and doohads. Going from left to right, we first have our left bumper, which gives us access to our inventory screen, which looks like this. This is an endgame inventory screen, by the way. It doesn't start this messy. I won't explain every little thing, as I'm going to be touching on most of these things during the video anyway. But some things I do want to mention now. These little faces here are called memo clips, or to put bluntly, extra lives. They're also the little blue dots below Naruto's chakra meter. They can be used to bring you back from death in a battle. You gain them as you fight through the story, and they are single use. You can refresh them, in air quotes, but I never needed to, so I don't really know what this means. This is a professional review by a professional reviewer. At the top we have our 3 currencies. Touch on that later. Most importantly, we have our scrolls. These are passive buffs that can be purchased and upgraded from the old lady's scroll shop in the village. You can have 4 equipped at one time. Finishing up the HUD, we have X that takes us to a list of current missions, pretty simple, and Y that takes us to this monstrosity of a page. This displays how many people in the village like you. A fun little visual for sure, but way to make me feel bad about myself? I mean, imagine having one of these in real life. Making our way to the ramen shop, we get our first mission, collect 10 coins. That's easy. I'm sure this isn't foreshadowing for what's to come. A few missions later, one comprising of teaching a miner how to sneak into a bathhouse.
Naruto, you again! Stay out of the girls' locker room! Why do they only hit me?
Some more coins collected and shops opened. We finally made our squad, comprising of Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. This is where the game slows down and starts teaching you the combat system. So this is where I'm going to start teaching you the combat system. Rise of a Ninja is broken into 2 gameplay styles, exploration and combat. Combat takes place in these small arenas, not unlike your standard 3D fighter. But being a game with 2 gameplay styles, it does suffer. Firstly, the combat just isn't very good. I don't want to say it's bad, it's just below mediocre. Sluggish and heavy. Now it does get better as Naruto gets stronger, learns more jutsus, learns more combos. But fundamentally, I don't think it's fun or complex enough to be really enjoyable. It slowly devolves into a chore, which is really sad, and not really what you want to hear when, it's a game about fighting. And I could use this section to teach you every little intricate button and every combo, but I'm not going to bother. You're going to see it on the screen how it works, you'll be able to figure it out straight away. You're a gamer, you know how these things work. But our first real fight is against Sakura, and it's pretty simple. A nice and easy opponent to feel the game out. Next is Sasuke, and as Kakashi warns, I need to be careful as, Sasuke might actually hurt me. Now little do either of them know, I have discovered the ultimate ninja technique. Watch and learn.
You're better than I thought.
Believe it!
Next up is Kakashi, and we need to learn the substitution jutsu, one where we disappear and reappear right behind our enemies. We do this by blocking as soon as the enemy hits us. Great little counter move, I like it. Realistically, it doesn't do much as you still take a little bit of damage and they can just do it back to you, but I like it, it's very Naruto. Finishing up these fights in this mission nets us the double jump. So as the game goes on, Naruto develops new skills which can be used both in and outside of combat. Which is a great little idea. You can use your Shadow Clone Jutsu to break walls outside of combat, or your Shadow Clone Jutsu to attack people in combat. Cool little system. The skill we just netted, Double Jump, sadly only works outside of combat, but by far it's one of the most important in the game. Before we were trapped at the snaky alleyways and the winding streets. Now with this we can finally explore more of the village, which again I want to mention is the highlight of this game. Seeing it from this vantage really brings back the charm, Where this game suffers from its combat, it really excels in the exploration and adventure. Now our next mission, if you're following the anime, should be the Land of Waves. But first we have to revisit the first area of the game for some anime filler. Ooh yeah!
There you are! Perfect timing. I may have stolen that map, but you stole my key. Now give it back so I can open this treasure chest.
Aha! I suspected that weird key was important.
As if that hadn't been obvious from the start, idiot.
Shut up, Sasuke!
Going a little bit deeper in, to our previous explored area. Now you'll find this game has this pattern where it makes the player play these boring missions in between the story missions. But at least you get to explore outside the village, I suppose? I mean, until you get pounced on every 5 fucking minutes by a bandit.
Get ready to fight!
Where do you think you're going?
You can also help some villagers with side quests, all of which fall into the genre of busy work. Usually running outside the village, fighting some guys and coming back, finding someone's scarf, finding someone's book, follow the bandits, find the shovel, bring it back, retrieve the bag of potatoes, bag of potatoes, find the bag of potatoes, bag of potatoes, find the bag of potatoes, bag of potatoes, bag of potatoes, retrieve the bag of potatoes, find the bag of potatoes, find the bag of potatoes. Find the bag of potatoes. Completing these optional side quests are worth it though, each netting you some cash and a health/chakra upgrade. Oh, and some experience points, which you can spend at one of the village teachers, learning new combos, powering up your base attack, or upgrading your skills like your shadow clone or your sexy jutsus. Sexy jutsu, you know, that one skill Naruto uses to confuse his opponents and sneak into women's bathhouses with minors. This is fucking weird. I swear this show is fun, it just starts off a little weak. I would have really loved if this game had a deeper character progression system. In its current state, you simply unlock better versions of your skills, better jutsus, better combos, bigger numbers. I would have loved a deeper RPG system here, some point allocation, some speed, defense, magic, something like that, you know. Some elemental effects maybe, make you feel like you were building a character. It's not far off a regular RPG now, it just does most of the progression for you. And finally, on to the next area, the Land of Waves, and a good fight?
Alright, the Land of Waves! We're here!
Okay, take me to my home, and I mean get me there in one piece.
The combat, although I hadn't done much at this point, really started to get repetitive and dull, but the first fight against Zabuza, fucking amazing. Why? Because he kicked my ass, forcing me to use a memo clip. Suddenly, I didn't mind the combat was kind of like, you know, shit. I was faced with an engaging fight, and the stage arena you'll fight him in is really cool too. You can spot Kakashi trapped in the background. Nice bit of world building here. Defeating Zabuza and then later on helping this lady collect some plants nets us our next skill, Chakra Concentration. We can now run up walls. Oh, but try not to fall in the water. Naruto drowns like a fucking Pikmin. Now rushing through the Land of Waves portion of the game, it really only lasts about half an hour. We climb the bridge following these markers and fight our next baddie, Haku, also unlocking the new combat technique, Rage Mode. Naruto channels the chakra of the nine-tailed beast within him, and with this immense power he gets like 5 seconds in invulnerability, increased speed, and slightly higher damage. Kind of useless, but it did save me from death a few times. Ending the Land of Waves, I'm struck by how little the game shows. It really is a whistle-stop tour of Naruto, barely touching on the characters in this world. I mean, if you knew nothing about Naruto before going into this, I hate to say you won't be much more informed coming back out. Back to village? Let's talk about how our cash system works. We have normal cash, bronze coins, and gold coins. The cash you receive by completing side missions and beating up dudes. The only use I really found for it was buying extras from this guy's shop, trailers, artwork, that kind of stuff. A nice little addition to the game, nice little content, you know? I love seeing promo material being involved in the game somehow. The bronze coins could be found in and outside of the village. These are used in the weapon and scroll shops to buy and upgrade weapons and scrolls. Lastly, in the rarest and hardest to find are the golden coins, which are usually found in hard to reach places or behind shadow clone walls. Walls that require the use of the shadow clone jutsu to knock them down. These walls can be made from 3 different materials, each indicating what level of jutsu you have to use to knock it down. A metal wall, a level 3 jutsu. Wooden, level 1 jutsu. That kind of stuff. But the golden coins are used to level up your scrolls and weapons even further, giving them a lot more oomph, making them a lot more potent in combat. By the end of the game I had this lifesteal scroll, and let me tell you, all difficulty just disappeared. Next up is the tune-in exams, which means Forest of Death. But before that, I've just realised I haven't explained how you perform jutsus. So, Jutsus can be used inside and outside of combat and they have different effects. To perform them, you hold down the left trigger and do different hand signs using the controller sticks. Up, left, right, different sequences to different jutsus. I think it's double up, double left and right to do Shadow Clone. You'll see it in the footage. I just realized I didn't actually explain how this worked. So here's a quick little explanation on how that works because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. Now, the Forest of Death, a very important part of the anime. Very important for character development. An introduction to one of our big villains. Very big trees. Remember, always check behind the trees. Well, it's over 3 areas. Lots of fighting against Sound Ninja. The game never tells you this Sound Ninja, by the way. Lots of coins to find. But for such a big, important place in the story, kind of disappointing. It's only 3 small areas. Visually, it's very pleasing, but again, very short. We do get cursed though, which actually impacts gameplay. So during this cutscene, Naruto gets tapped in his tummy, sealing him from the 9-tailed fox's chakra, while nerfing us, the player, dropping the health and chakra down to 500. A really nice way to take an important part of the plot and implement it into gameplay. So we're getting close to the end of this review now, so I'm going to cut down the story here. Get to the center of the forest, watch some anime fights. Fight Wolf Boy. Who's Wolf Boy? No idea. Get introduced to Gaara. Gaara and this kid we don't know yet, Lee. Apparently they have a really good fight. I don't know, we don't see it. That wasn't me cutting down the plot, by the way. That's all we really see from this chunk of game. A couple little short anime fights and fights for us, and that's it. Kinda weird. Just how the game presents it. Glazing over all these important characters. Rushing on to the next thing. The wide cast of characters is what makes Naruto really entertaining, like any good story. So to see the game handle the extended cast a little poorly, it's a bit disappointed and a bit sloppy. But Wolf Boy beat, cutscenes watched, back to town. Sasuke is off training with Gojo, we need a new teacher. Cue Ibuki. I'm not looking his name up, I think it's Ibiki. Wait, no. Cue Jiraiya, the Toad Sage, and some really bad voice acting. I haven't mentioned the voice acting yet. It's polarizing.
Now, let's begin your training. To walk on water, you have to build up chakra at the points of contact and also constantly adjust it in order to maintain your balance on the water's shifting surface.
So as we've seen so far, a lot of the cutscenes are ripped directly from the anime, which all includes the original voice cast, which, makes perfect sense. But for the overworld conversations, a lot of the voice cast are not featured in this game, which leads to some very unfortunate voice acting. Some are fine, like the third Hokage and Iruka are very good impressions, or decent impressions, of the original voice actors. And you do have some returning, so Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi, all the voice actors return, and Naruto of course. But Jiraiya really doesn't sound that good, at least in the overworld sections.
Need you to use up all of your blue chakra so that only your red chakra is left. Do you think you can do that?
I don't want to dog on the voice actor because we don't know who he is. I'll do a little research and put it on screen. He could have been pulled in just to do a voice really quickly. He might have had no direction. He might have had no knowledge of Naruto or the character, so it's hard to say. Or I'm just making an excuse and he's bad. We don't know. It could have been Jerry from upstairs in the office. But finally, after meeting Jiraiya, he fixes our tummy ache, while also teaching us how to use our chakra to walk on water. Thankfully, it's the same sequence of hand signs as the wall run. No need to overcomplicate things. Love it. We finally have every upgrade to Naruto's movement. I skipped over the sprint. I don't remember where I got it. I think it was after the Land of the Waves we get the sprint. We can now explore the village fully. But at this point in the game, unless you're going for 100%, you're only going to be exploring for fun. There isn't really anything left to upgrade, unless again you want to collect everything. You don't need to collect any more coins or anything. There's no incentive. This is, of course, assuming you've collected stuff throughout the game. If not, go right ahead, explore the village to your heart's content. But I didn't need to pick up anything else at this point in the game. I had everything I needed to finish it up. Here we are, at the finals of the Chunin exams, and therefore, the end of the game. How long have I been playing for again? 3 hours? Oh. Neji! Wait, who is Neji? Anyway, we're fighting him twice. Something I forgot to mention, but most of the big fights in this game, Zabuza, Orochimaru, Neji, you all fight twice. I don't really know why this is a thing in this game. I guess it's for padding, but I'm really not sure. I couldn't find an answer for it. I'm just going to put it down for padding. Making short work of Neji with my lifesteal scroll. We win, but everything goes amok. The Sand Village attacks, and we are tasked with taking down Gaara. You remember Gaara, right? That really important character we meet twice. Maybe 3 times. Rushing after Sasuke. I didn't mention the jumping. I almost forgot. So when traveling between areas in this game, you play this little tree jumping minigame. If you're familiar with the anime at all, you know they use them jumping through trees like all the time, where the characters talk and they give exposition, all that kind of stuff. So it's a quick little minigame. Smashing the A button when Naruto hits a branch, speeds him up, and you want to go fast. There's nothing more to it. You go fast or you don't go fast. That's it. It's cute, gets tedious. Going fast nets you health. Do you really need health at this point in the game? No. Here we are, folks, the end of the road. We've caught up. Sasuke has some goop on him. I'm not sure why. Sakura is useless and we fight Gaara twice. And now the final section of the game, or I'm going to call it a mini-game. We control a transformed giant toad. We learned to summon earlier in the game from Jiraiya, by the way. We transform into a nine-tailed fox, which is really sick. And we have to dodge these projectiles as we get close to the final fight, final boss, sand monster. I mean, the game doesn't tell us what this is, so I can't tell you what it is. I could tell you it's a one-tailed sand beast, and you know, it's in Gaara, and he's a Jinchuriki and all this stuff. But the game doesn't tell you this, so you're never gonna know. Now I have a question for everyone. Has a game you've ever played ended with a quick time event? Legitimately, has the game ever ended like that? Because I'm not sure any other game has. Listen, I like quick time events, but this one really doesn't work. Smash, bang, whoop, and we win. Gaara's down and so is the giant sand creature. All rendered in beautiful 3D. This might be the only 3D cutscene of the game. I'll double check my footage, but I think it might be. But defeating Gaara abruptly rolls the credits. That's it. That's the end. We're done. 4 hours. Gone. Bye. Naruto Path of a Ninja is half-baked. One half being really well-designed areas, fun to explore, and at times really visually appealing. I love some of the visuals in this game. The other half being a very poor retelling of its source material, held together by a really boring combat system that never really develops or changes as the game goes on. And I want to mention too, this game took me around 4 hours to beat, start to finish. That was at a leisurely pace as I was taking notes as I was playing it. I didn't 100% the game. If I did, it would probably take me like 6 to 8 hours. If I was playing quick, 6 for sure. It's a very short game, and I don't know what to say about it. It makes me feel empty. There's just so much potential here, and going back to this game, it does leave me wanting more, which is a great thing. But there's just not enough meat here to sink your teeth into. It's worth a play in an afternoon if you have nothing else to do, but it's also not. I can't really recommend it. Although I'm not sure where you're going to play it, as at this moment, the game is stuck on the 360. You can't buy it digitally anyway.
What? No way!
And as painfully mediocre as this game is, there should still be a legitimate way to play it, you know? A way that's not buy an Xbox and buy an old copy, because that's just inconvenient. We should just be able to buy it digitally, like, outright. But it's not all bad news. This game had a sequel, Naruto, The Broken Bond. And I do remember this game being significantly better. Multiple characters, better traversal. I just remembered it being an all-round better experience, better graphics, better music, better voice acting. Again, my memory could be lying to me. I'm looking forward to revisiting it here, so we can see together if it sucks or not. But I'm hoping, I really am hoping, it takes the good parts from this game and smashes it into a much better experience. So I was going to end the video with a shot of Naruto on top of the Hokage's building. I don't know how you get up there, but I know you can because there's a gold coin up there. In my attempt to get on top of the building, I got stuck. So I'm going to end the video right here, and that'll give you a great impression of what this game is like. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.